Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I really wanted to come up on here and kind of do another sit down video and just kind of talk more. If you don't know, I did post 2 recent videos where I opened up about, I kind of opened up about my love life and, you know, like what that's like for a non-binary individual like myself. And I got amazing responses. I got a lot of love. And again, I know I thanked everybody in my last video, but again, just thank you. And thank you for wanting me to be this real. I am working on being more open and real just in my everyday life about certain things that I have kind of kept secret. I am trying to be more open with myself and just more honest with myself about certain things. And so I think sharing them on YouTube is really helping me. And so I wanted to come up on here and talk about friends, like just kind of like how it is as a non-binary individual trying to make friends and keep friends and just kind of share some of my experiences. But before I do that, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to come subscribe to my channel. We did gain a few followers. So hello, if you are new to my channel, my name is Chris. Welcome. And let's just get right into the video. So before we jump into the video, I do want to say, officially, Bosco, come here. Do you want to tell them with me? Come here. Bosco's going to tell you with me. All right. So this is our 100th video. Yay! Yay! So this video is my 100th video on YouTube. And okay, so I'm emotional. I've just started to become emotional. Not started to become, but I've always been emotional. I am allowing myself to feel more emotions. I'm allowing myself to just be more vulnerable and just feel it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the times we think emotions are bad, especially the ones that we don't show people. But like to accomplish something like hitting 100 videos on YouTube is huge, right? I've had my channel now, I think 3 years. My first year, I was super active, and then I stopped for a year after an incident, which I will probably do a video about. And then to start back in March and to gain over 100 followers. And, you know, I am not somebody who is like, oh, my channel has to move fast. You know, like my numbers have to go up. I don't like, I'm not worried about because it'll grow if it's meant to grow type of situation. And so the fact that I'm sitting here saying I'm at 100 videos on YouTube, I have sat down and recorded and edited and put out 100 videos. I probably have done almost 200 to 300 videos that just never made it on the channel, but that's nor here or there. I just want to thank everyone for the support, for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, for just following my journey. You know what I mean? Because like, I think that everybody has a journey and everybody has something to show the world. And this is just the way that I am choosing to show the world my journey currently. So I came up on here originally because I wanted to talk about friends and being non-binary. I have not always known the correct term for my gender. Back in the day when I was younger, I just kind of identified as gay, right? I think that's what a lot of people do. And so that was my main factor. I was a gay, Black man. That's just what it was. I have always been feminine. I have always had more feminine traits than masculine traits. And I have had to learn how to work through that, honestly. I was a very guarded child. I was a very sheltered child. When I was young, my grandmother did raise me, and I don't think I was able to go outside until the age of 6. And what I mean by outside is my grandmother did not let me play with the other kids. And I know now as an adult, looking back, she didn't let me play with kids because I got teased a lot, honestly. I got made fun of a lot. And I think she saw how it triggered me emotionally. And I think in her mind, she thought, oh, I need to shelter him more. I need to hold on to him more. And so that I didn't go outside. So that was me growing up, right? My grandmother really sheltered me. As I went through school, I started to come out to friends during middle school. I started to tell people that I think I liked guys in middle school. And that was a lot. I went through a lot of teasing back then. I lost a lot of friends, mainly guys. They just didn't like that I was different from them. They didn't understand it. They didn't want to understand it. And so it resulted in me really only hanging around women. And because of that, as I grew up and went through like high school, and middle school, it made me only look for relationships within women, because women were the only people who stood up for me and made me feel loved and, all that kind of stuff. And along the line, there were friends that were guys that came in the picture and like became good friends, and, something happened or one or two things happened. And then so like that relationship ended, right? I have a really hard time when it comes to being friends with guys specifically, because it just becomes difficult. You can have a friend who is a guy and is friends with me, right? And it's nothing sexual. Totally friends, right? And people will start to say, oh, well, they must be sleeping together. Oh, he must be gay. And so, one, it just shows how closed-minded people really are, right? And it shows people are not as open and accepting as they say they are, right? Because how could you tease somebody or even question someone else's sexuality based on who they hang out with? One, that's not your place. And I think that is where a lot of people... I don't even know the words to say it. But so because of that, I've struggled a lot with having friends that were guys. I've struggled a lot with having friends that are guys because when they meet me and we become really close friends, then they feel like it's a time for them to test their sexuality, right? And younger Chris didn't understand that, right? So younger Chris, who was looking for love and craved that attention, especially from someone who was masculine and had masculine energy, I gravitated towards that. And that is what became my idea of what type of man I needed. So you can only imagine when a straight man decided to pursue me in that way, how in my mind, it made me feel like, oh, this is it. This is the acceptance that I've been looking for. This is what, everything has boiled down to. And I learned, I'm learning now in my adult life, that's not the case, right? I've had to not be friends with a lot of straight guys once we hit that point, or once I kind of get that like mood swing that they're trying to like go a different route, right? And so it becomes hard. And I am somebody who believes in experiences. I am somebody who believes that everybody is a free spirit, honest to God. I personally, as an adult now, don't feel like people should be tied down to these labels and gender and sexuality. Although I understand if you do, and that is how you were raised, by all means, honey, pick your label. But for somebody like me now who is non-binary, right? I don't live in this like male fantasy. I don't live in this female fantasy. I portray whatever I want to portray whenever I want to portray it, period. And so I think that being a non-binary and trying to walk this life and be with friends has been hard, right? Because at times I felt like I was people's like rocks, right? I see friends a lot different than other people. And I say that because if I call you my friend, that is what I mean, right? That is how I see you. And I think friends are supposed to be there for each other. And I say that because I was never the person to have a huge group of friends. People like me. People think I'm funny. People know me. And that's great. I live for that kind of attention. But to really be called a true friend is different to me. That is something different to me. And I take that very strongly. I feel very strong about my friends. I stick up for my friends. I will fight for my friends. I'm down. You know what I mean? And so I have not always gotten that back. And because I have been so afraid to think, well, what happens if like they don't talk to you anymore? Or what happens if like they don't want to be your friend anymore? I have allowed myself to become smaller in order to fit into this box that I thought I needed to fit into, especially when it came to men. I would want to be in a friend group with a group of guys, And I always had to kind of like bring it down. You know what I mean? And like, I joined a fraternity. I had lots of friends back when I was in church that were guys. You know what I mean? And so like, it always played out the same. It either was one or two ways. They didn't like me because I was different. They wanted to be my friend because they wanted to experiment, or they were cool with me as long as I stayed in a certain box. Those were the categories. You get what I'm saying? And so I've had to learn to get out of that. And so now I am very headstrong about my friends. If you are my friend and you're watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I just don't play the games anymore, right? I think if we're friends, we should be able to be 100% honest with each other about everything. You know, I've had people in the past that have lied to me, and they will say it's all in the sake of not wanting to hurt my feelings. Or, well, we already know how you're going to react, so we didn't want to go down that road. So you thought so little of me as my friend that I couldn't contain myself. So like, I say all of this to say, you got to get to a point in life where you can just be real, honestly, truly. One, with yourself. I know that I'm a strong energy, high energy individual when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to relationships and friends, right? Like, those are just things I don't play about, because those are things that have been secret to me. Like, you know, those are things that have been just held close to me. Those are things that I hold close, okay? And so I'm not going to allow something that I cherish so much and I hold so dear to me just go. You know what I mean? I have had to learn when to bow out of situations, right? I've had to learn that if I'm putting all this energy into communicating and to being there, and that other individual isn't, then you need to leave. You got to bow out gracefully. You know what I mean? You don't always stay because you hold on to this idea of somebody. You can't always stay because of that. And I've had to learn that, and that was really hard for me. It's hard to talk about certain individuals who were in my life who I thought would always be there. You know, like, I could list, and I'm sure everybody can, right? I can list people who I was like, this person will be at my wedding, you know, if I ever get married. This person will, all this kind of stuff that you hope and you wish for with these friends, right? And as I've gotten older, I had to become more real with myself. And I also have to understand that people live their own lives. People have their own journeys. And sometimes that means I'm not a part of that. And I'm okay with that now. I used to be really hurt by that, honest to God. I used to be kind of like, well, dang, they don't want me in their life. Oh, they didn't want to invite me to this big event, or they didn't want to, like, you know, have me meet their significant other. I've had a lot of friends, and this ain't no shade. This ain't no tea. Y'all know if I rock with you, I rock with you. I love you to the end. But I've had friends who have gotten in relationships, honey. Done, Zanero, done. I ain't never heard from them again. Who are you? I see you on social media type vibes. Great. Honestly, great, fine. You found happiness. I just know I'm not that type of person, right? I know when I finally find the love of my life, whoever that is, I want my friends to be a part of that experience with me. You know what I mean? I want my friends to see my happiness. So anyway, I've had friends who have gotten into relationships and stopped talking to me, and like just don't come around anymore, don't hang out anymore, and like whatever. Like, you're going through your own thing, fine. But that has always been something that has made me not want to hang out with couples, right? And so I had to learn that I had a secret anger towards my friends who would get in relationships, honestly. And it was because I knew there was going to come a time where we didn't hang out anymore. And that hurt my feelings, honestly. You know what I mean? And I thank you to all my friends who are in relationships and still make time. You know, like, I get it. It's you learn how to do that. You know, you have to learn how to separate friends from like your significant other or whatever. You know what I mean? I am somebody who wants deeper connections in life. Okay? I don't want surface level friendships. Okay? I don't want this, oh, you know, this we're friends, but like, you know, we're friends only when this person's not available. Because see, that happens. You have people who have best friends, right? Or people who they're closer to. And so they'll treat you second best. I know what being treated like second best feels like, and I won't sit in it anymore. Okay? I won't allow myself to go through this crazy emotions like I don't matter because I'm only needed when you need something. Okay? And that is what makes people angry. And that is what honestly turned me cold to certain individuals. There were times I didn't even want to go to straight clubs anymore because my straight friends didn't understand me, but I had to understand them. You get what I'm saying? I'm somebody that wants a deeper connection with people, but that comes with time. That comes with like growth and nurturing the relationship together. That's the key word. You see what I'm saying? People have this idea that you only work together when you're sleeping with somebody. No, honey, that's not how the world works. If we're friends, it's called 50-50 in a relationship. I don't care what relationship it is. I refuse now to be the person that puts in more, right? And don't get me wrong, there are certain seasons in people's life where they need more, right? They need you more than they normally would. They need you to pour into them. And so I respect that, and I do that for people because I understand that people have, life is this, okay? Life is waves. Life is not this. You'll be like this, and then come on, y'all know how life goes. So, yes, Bosco, I'm just chit-chatting, honey. Bosco said, get off and feed me. But, I don't want to keep the video long. And I'm rambling because I want to get it out. This might be the new wave for me, y'all. I like to ramble and just get things out and just piece it together. But, yeah, I am so much happier in my life right now. So much happier. And I remember when I didn't think I would ever get to this point. I remember when I felt very alone. I remember when I felt very like crazy. I remember when I felt like it's me. You know what I mean? I had the issues all the time. And I had to do a lot of work within myself. I had to do a lot of like, you're not perfect. You don't have it all together. You don't have all the answers anymore like you thought you did. You know what I mean? Like, and so that is what has helped me grow. You know what I mean? And so I hope that like, so whoever's watching this video right now, if you're going through something with friends or in a relationship or even family, like, you have to take time to step back from yourself and not allow these crazy emotions to run you crazy, right? Because like everybody has something going on in their life. I don't care who they are. Everybody has something that is near and makes them feel some type of way. You know what I mean? And so you have to respect that. You know what I mean? But you also have to love yourself enough to know how to handle it for yourself. Because unfortunately, not everybody is going to be equipped to handle it. Okay? I'm going to end the video, but I will never forget one thing someone said to me when I had liked someone. I liked an individual. And I had been crushing on them for a while. They knew about the crush. And of course, later on, that crush turned into us like becoming sexual together. And then shortly after that, I kind of got ghosted. The relationship flipped, right? And I remember feeling very emotional about it. And I went to a good friend of mine, Christian, and he said something to me that has stuck with me. He said this to me years ago, back when I was in undergrad. He looked at me and he said, you're going to have to be okay with moving on in life and not getting the apologies you think you deserve. I held this idea that people had to get my forgiveness in order for me to move on. And it wasn't until I had that conversation. It wasn't until I had that conversation that I learned differently. I had to apologize to myself for allowing myself to go through something like that and not loving myself enough and blaming myself. You know what I mean? And so, if I can leave you all with anything, if you're going through something, if you're hoping somebody's going to reach out and apologize for something they did or how they hurt you, you got to learn how to move on without getting that apology that you deserve. Honestly, it is the only way to heal. It is the only way to move forward. And I hope you find that because it's what I'm finding. It's what I'm working on. I'm going to end the video there. I hope it helps somebody. I'm super excited to be celebrating my 100th video. I've literally been celebrating for a few. I celebrated it when I posted my 99th video. And so now I'm here at 100. And we gonna get to 100 more. So like, hey, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.